The cars across the line for round 7 of the Bankfin Touring Car Series. Into the first corner, tight right-hander, almost doubles back on itself, doesn't it, Graham?
Yeah, unfortunately, nobody touched each other. Traditionally, down in Cape Town, they haven't got past the first bridge. Here, they've got through the first corner, no problem whatsoever. So at least we've got a full field of cars going into the second corner, which is Quarry.
In car with Chris Aberdeen in the engine Audi. He's behind Michael Briggs in the Cecil BMW. Ahead of him, Van der Linde, the same BMW. As they come through the kink for the first time.
But it is Janelle again in the lead there, really in control. Duncan Foss second, then the privateer Marco de Santos third, then the two BMWs. So it's not bad for two BMWs. Chris Aberdeen was hoping to make up some places, but we're going to have to see whether he can overtake those BMWs.
Now this is the man to watch, Marco de Santos in the valid value Nissan Primera. He really is the find this year, isn't he?
Well, we've known that for the last few years, and this year he's got the car to win races, and I'm absolutely certain he will win a race before the end of the season.
Into Vodacom for the first time, it's de Villiers, Foss, de Santos, the two BMWs, and behind them the Audi. We're in car with Sean Watson-Smith in the Patronus Opal, and he's got Chris Aberdeen in the Audi on his left-hand side. Bit of nudging there.
Yeah, there was indeed. Going in, there was nudging from behind and from the side, and here they come across the line side by side. Aberdeen is not going to be happy about the fact that the Opal's got past him.
Looks like all the pit numbers going, getting blown about there, blown off the pit wall.
Someone's obviously left them on the racetrack. But look at this dice for the second group. The Nissans are ahead, but here between the Opal and the Audis, very, very close.
Watson, Smith and Taylor, again, just a little nudge, but nice to see they're not going full bore into each other. We're in car with Chris Aberdeen as we enter the engine bowl here at Killarney. It is a marvellous track for watching racing, isn't it, Frank?
It's fantastic. You can see so much of the track from any one position. Now here again you see de Villiers really controlling the race from the front at this point in time, pulling away. The BMWs are a lot closer than they thought they were going to be, and certainly the Opals and the Audis aren't going to be very happy with this.
Well, Sean lost it slightly there, but manages to keep ahead of his teammate, Michael Briggs. As we see de Villiers, Foss, de Santos right behind him, the two BMWs, Watson-Smith, and then the Audis. What a lovely race.
And there's Mark Peters trying to make a move as well from a very lowly position in 9th, coming through into that second group. The problem is that you can be faster than the guys in front, but of course to overtake is another story.
Back again at the head of the field, the three Nissans, the two BMWs, and the dice between Taylor. Whoa, who's that going on? That's Watson-Smith in the Opal.
Yeah, it looked like he got a touch from somebody who else just lost it on his own. I'm not quite sure. TV camera
managed to keep his position though.
Which means that there's no problem. Even if Aberdeen or whoever the Audi is here did touch him, it wouldn't have been a problem.
Back almost 3 abreast, we see Chris Aberdeen, followed by Mark Peters in the third of the BP Nissans. Peters, of course, from the UK, flies out on a Wednesday and then flies off after the racing.
No question about that. He wants to put one over the full works teams, and here he's having a look on the inside, but probably just a little bit too far back. Of course, he's also very much part of the team, so he definitely doesn't want to take out one of his so-called teammates, because they wouldn't go down very well afterwards in the pit.
Mark Peters and Aberdeen still having a go at each other as they go through Vodacom, and second Audi just trying to get past Peters as well. There's some very fast parts to this circuit, aren't there?
Yeah, very fast. Then you end up in some pretty slow corners at the end of the straight and the end of the back straight as well, which is great for overtaking normally. But these guys are so close at the moment, and the drivers then taking the inside line so that people can't overtake, and they're trying an outside line, but invariably it hasn't worked. We haven't seen it work yet.
We've gone to lap 6, and there's in car again with Sean Watson-Smith in the Opal. He's having a go at Michael Briggs on the left-hand side. But bit of bumping again.
But there's an Audi on the far, and the Audi did it. Having just said they can't overtake around the outside, they've done that. That's Anthony Taylor passing Briggs around the outside, going very, very wide coming out of the corner, but nevertheless he got past with a clean move.
Nice to see the Opals up with the pace. They've done this engine development. It seems to be getting them and keeping them right there, isn't it?
Absolutely. With Mike Carroll running this team, believe me, before the end of the year, they're going to be competitors to win the race. There's no question of it.
Chris Aberdeen obviously having a bit of a bump there. He's got a bumper hanging off, but he's still keeping up with them. But this is lovely, lovely racing.
And there's Peters moves right through there. Who's that there? Briggs going through with Peters behind him and then the two Audis.
Well, that's right. Peters seemed to lose about 3 positions there as they came into the Continental corner. All over the track. Look at it.
And Chris Aberdeen got through as well. So now you've got the two Audis, and Peters has now lost all of those positions by going around the outside.
Slowing down in the engine bowl. Back again. This is a lovely dice. It is midfield, but this is the sort of racing that the touring cars is bringing out.
Exactly. What we've got Sean van Linde, who's now gone away, but you've got Briggs, who I think is obviously having a problem. He's now holding up these the two Audis and the Opal, and then Peters right at the back at the moment after that mistake through Holzhoek.
So there we see Briggs the two Audis. There's Chris Aberdeen, that bumper hanging off. Why is it? It seems that some of the cars go out wide at Vodacom, others ducking on the inside. Are there two racing lines there?
There are a number of racing lines through that corner. Really, it's going in as quickly as you can, settling the car, and then accelerating out of the corner, because the speed you carry off the corner takes you right down to the end of the straight. So really, it's getting out of the corner that's important, not what you do right in the middle of the corner.
He seems almost to have been holding the back of the field up to a certain extent. Now Chris Aberdeen having a look with that bumper hanging off still. And Dion Joubert in the second of the Petronas Opals, also behind Briggs as well.
That's where there's no love lost between Aberdeen and Briggs. They started their career racing together. They've always been competitive. This is a hard-fought battle was going to be. Now, Briggs is letting a gap on the inside, should I say, for Aberdeen to go through. Aberdeen should be able to outbrake him.
Well, Michael's still got the speed down the back straight, but Chris, as you said, dived in on the inside. Now, will Michael now dive in the inside again? No, but look at Joubert, also having a go at Briggs now.
Now, that's the second of the Opals going through, but he's a little bit far behind, and he's not going to be right for the next corner, probably.
We go to the last lap. It's De Villiers, Foss, there's Marco de Santos, the privateer Nissan, keeping up with the two works teams. A lovely, lovely prepared car.
And keeping out of trouble as well, not touching. I mean, he would love to make a do-or-die effort over Duncan Foss, but he's not going to do it. He's not going to take any chances. Unfortunately, got held up there, but well, just the traffic split them up slightly, so that really took care of his last opportunity down the back straight to overtake Foss.
And we're in car with Marco de Santos in position number 3. In his Nissan, directly ahead of him, you see Janil de Villiers and Duncan Foss, first and second in the BP Nissans as they head towards us. Foss with the lights on. Is he going to make a move on Janil, his
Well, he would
teammate?
certainly like to make a move on him, but again, he doesn't want to touch him though. De Villiers has taken a defensive line through there, and really all he has to do is just to run from this corner through the start-finish line. So we're sure it'll be De Villiers, Foss, and then Marco de Santos.
So as they head, round number 7 is won by the BP Nissan of Janil de Villiers, teammate Duncan Foss second, Marco de Santos in third. Cecil BMW of Sean van der Linden away for round 8. Mark Peters on the right, Duncan Foss on the left in the BP Nissans, and away they go. What is it, this first corner? We didn't see an accident in the first round, and it doesn't look like it again.
No, they're all behaving themselves. They've been told by their managers, don't damage the cars, finish the race. There's, 17 starters, we want 17 finishers. That's more important. You don't win the race in the first corner, and they all seem to have understood that very, very well.
In car, Sean Watson-Smith in the Petronas Opal. He did well in the first race.
Absolutely. I think we're going to see the same thing here. They're solid, and as I said earlier, they're going to come through later in the season. This is only their third race meeting, so they've got lots to learn. The other guys have been here in the last couple of years. One of the Audis going a little bit wide there onto the dust. They've lost a little bit of time.
In car with Sean van der Linden, 4th in the first heat today at Killarney, and now chasing the engine Audi.
Yeah, we'll see whether he can come through this. This is going to be a long, tough race if it's anything like the first one. Again, this is probably pulling away. Well, there you've got Mark Peters who's leading, and then Janil going up to overtake Duncan Foss on the outside. Is he going to make it? No, doesn't look like it.
De Santos. Oh, look at this. Wow! In car with Watson-Smith again. The Audi just seemed to cut straight in front of him.
Well, that's the line. You go very high and then you come down. So you've got to try and get out of the way, else you're going to get pushed off. But there's Peters leading the race off in the first lap, followed at that point still by Duncan Foss and then De Villiers.
We're in car 4th position. Marco de Santos, the privateer. He's chasing
De Villiers. That's De Villiers in front there. So as they started, Peters, Foss, De Villiers, and then Marco de Santos.
What is it about the Primeras this year, Graham?
You know, they were very good last year, and Glyn Hall is a fantastic engineer. The whole team is great. They're very positive. They all work together. It's a real team effort, that whole Nissan team.
The BMWs, they seem to be coming back into it. They were worried about the qualifying times, that it was Nissan circuit. They're not doing too badly here, as we're in car with Michael Briggs.
But a rear-wheel drive car around Killarney traditionally is just not as good as a front-wheel drive car, and so they're always going to suffer. It's when they get to Killarney and other circuits that they're absolutely brilliant. Mark Peters still leading, De Villiers second, but Taylor has passed Foss for the 4th position.
Somebody diving out behind the Opal there. That's Watson-Smith and Aberdeen. Dodgems at 200 k's an hour.
220 k's an hour, and braking is a third car on the outside. Sean van der Linden, the BMW. This is very close.
Well, is van der Linden going to take a dive down the inside? No, he's not. Oh, bumping there. Who's that coming from? Terry Moss. And Terry Moss has scored Sean right off the circuit. Moss made up a position in the engine Audi. It's the Nissans that cross the line.
But it's the Audi of Andy Taylor still in 4th position.
So Marco de Santos going a little bit wide there. Peters goes through on the inside. We're in car with Anthony Taylor. He's right up against Peters and knocking him right. Oh! Taylor goes off, he's backwards right towards the Nissan fans.
You can hear the Nissan fans shouting. If he gets out, they're going to throw bottles at him, I'm quite sure.
Yeah, Mark Peters still going. It's got a knock on the front. We're looking at Duncan Foss and Marco De Santos. First accident of the afternoon, really, no?
There's still distance 1, 2, 3, and then the Opel obviously in 4th place here with Sean Watson-Smith.
Well, he's managed to, after that accident, make up a few places. Here's Anthony Taylor back on the circuit after his spin, and Mike Briggs in the BMW. He had a spin just now. Let's have a look at it. You see them coming into Vodacom corner. There's Briggs on the right-hand side. No, he's behind, isn't he?
Yeah, he's behind. He's on his own.
Oh,
straight off on his own. Not the type of thing that he wanted to see. He would have hoped we didn't get this one on camera.
Yeah, back into first gear and rejoins the race. Now let's have a look at the Taylor-Peters incident again.
The De Santos goes wide. Peters is leading. Taylor's behind, and then Taylor dives for the inside, touches Peters, which is all he needs to go sideways.
How did Marco De Santos get through there?
There wasn't space. It was the waters divided, and he went straight through. Now there's Taylor coming back in. Obviously the damage is too great to his car, so he's retiring, first retiree of the day.
Not going to be a happy man, really, because he was doing very well in the race, battling for second position. But we're back at the head of the field. De Santos
trying to get past Duncan Foss. Janelle de Villiers, of course, with all that action behind, has pulled away, but here's Duncan and Marco De Santos having a real ding-dong.
So it's still Nissan Primera of Janelle de Villiers in first. We're with Duncan Foss, but looking back at third place, and now we're with third place Marco De Santos, looking forward to Duncan Foss in second position.
Cannot get closer than this. This is as close as you're ever going to get. This is the corner onto the main straight, very, very fast corner. Come out at about 145 kilometers an hour at this point, and then reaching just over 220 at the end of the straight. But look at that second battle again. Very, very close.
The Opels, the Audis, but De Santos having a look on the inside of Foss now. Will he get through there, Graham?
Well, yes, he has done. Has he done it?
Has he?
Sideways now, which is on the wrong side for the next corner.
But there's mayhem behind them.
Yeah, and these two Audi drivers, again, they are racing. There's no team orders there whatsoever.
You heard Duncan Foss in the interview after the first race saying that, no, there are no team orders. Do you think there are team orders within the team?
I think they just know they mustn't touch each other. And you see, Marco was on the wrong side coming out there, so he wasn't able to make the pass that time. But look how close he is. At some point, he's going to try and get through. You see his right-hand windows open, or there's something flapping on the right-hand side of his car.
And here's Watson-Smith behind them. He's in fourth position. We've got those two Audis behind him as well.
Yeah, Marco seems to go into this corner just a little hard and loses from Duncan, and goes in there just a little more under control.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars. The two Audis, the two Opels, and a BMW. The BMW of Sean van der Linde. His teammate Mike Briggs spun out a little bit earlier, but he's still on the track. The two Opels.
They're the two Audis, I told you.
Two Audis,
there's nothing there. I mean, that's slowing each other down, going into that fast corner before the main straight, which is allowing Watson-Smith to be even closer. We'll see whether he can make a move at the end of the straight here.
Well, the crowd loving every minute. There's actually 5 cars in that group there.
Sean van der Linde can't be happy being at the back of that. Look at this over here.
Well, this time De Santos has got
on the inside.
He's got past Duncan Foss, and he's now after Janelle de Villiers, and then the next 5.
This
great race.
Well, Janelle hasn't got that much space. He's got enough just to be a little bit comfortable, but Marco De Santos can catch him, quite sure.
And they're all over the track. No team orders, they say, but they're certainly dicing it out for fourth position there.
There's lots of pride. You know, if you can't beat your teammate, you can't beat anybody. And there's lots of pride here between Moss and Aberdeen.
Well,
he goes, that's Moss going on the inside, over the nose.
And he's straight off the other side. Chris Aberdeen says, thank you very much, Terry. And carries on. Terry Moss obviously still going to continue on, but it's Aberdeen, the Opels of Watson-Smith, Joubert. Sean van der Linde looks for a way round. Takes a dive to the right-hand side as they go into Continental Court. A lot of smoke from the Opel there.
This seems to be running very rich. You see the flames coming out of the exhaust, which then turns into that very black smoke. I haven't seen that in the other touring cars.
There's De Santos, the coffee shop owner from Johannesburg, followed by Duncan Foss, the hardware merchant from Johannesburg. There's Aberdeen, Watson-Smith right up behind him. Patronus Opel. Aberdeen not having the best season, really.
They haven't had a great season, but here we're back again, and now they've closed up on De Villiers. There was some oil put down earlier. Now, of course, unfortunately, with Janelle being the first person to arrive at oil, he was a little bit more cautious. He didn't want to do a Hakkinen and fall off while leading.
And there's Aberdeen and Watson-Smith still battling for fourth place. Sean van der Linde in the sole BMW, and a very bent Mark Peters in the...
Where's Terry Moss? Terry Moss obviously still behind Mark Peters after he's a little off the end of the straight. But look at these three leading distance. There's nothing separating these cars at all. And let me tell you, all three of them want to win. It's all that pride I was talking about earlier.
And of course, Duncan Foss is carrying that additional weight, 30 kilograms. He was second on the grid, I beg your pardon. And he's carrying extra weight. Do you think that holds him up at all?
They'll always tell you that it does. I personally don't believe it makes that much difference. Look at his performance over there. There's nothing between the three cars with different weight on it. So I really don't think it makes that much difference.
Watson, Smith and Aberdeen still battling it out for fourth position.
This has been a fantastic race, a fantastic dice the whole day, in fact, between these two drivers.
Bit of smoke from the back of Chris's car, just a bit of tyre smoke from
just
braking
light
a bit
as
late.
they brake in. That inside wheel just lifts up. There's all sorts of fancy braking systems that they wanted to do.
Marco De Santos battling for the lead. Look at this. He's having a go at De Villiers on the outside. Foss right up behind him. De Villiers on the inside line.
It actually looked like De Santos was actually through there for a bit, but being on the outside, he couldn't quite make it around him.
As they head towards the finish line for the finish of race number 8, round number 8, and Watson, Smith and Aberdeen still having a go at each other. Chris knocks Sean just off to the left-hand side. What a race, man.
This is 1, 2, 3, and then the Audi in 4th position of Chris Aberdeen, Sean Watson, Smith in 5th place, and then Sean Verlinden, the BMW, in 6th.
And Mark Peters is